And the guiding it's just like part of who I am. It's pretty rare that I keep fish nowadays, but growing up I definitely kept a lot of fish just to be able to like feed everybody and have something to eat. I grew up with not much money, so we got to be able to like feed ourselves off of what we caught. It's always been a part of my life. It's always brought me joy and a part of survival too, I guess. Yeah.
Fly fishing is something that my father and I began pursuing when I was about 10 or 11 at this store, and I took the fly fishing class and I started working there when I was about 12, and I haven't left. That's not a family business, but I bought it when I was done with school. But it's all I know. I've only had one job in my life, remember.
When I got over the mountains from Central Oregon, it was pretty much the first river you see as you're going down the highway, and I was just in awe by how blue the water was.
Water quality, the quality fish that are native to it are super amazing to me. Supported a local fishery for a long, long time in our community of anglers here. The Chinook salmon is an incredible fish. Its life cycle's amazing. They go to the ocean 3 to 5 years, come return back to the exact same spot they were born. I mean, it's sort of our iconic fish.
Everybody loves the salmon, and it's even more magical if you caught that fish and you get to like take it home and smoke it or throw it on the grill. You know, like that's like really the best part of salmon. Instead of eating a farm salmon that you bought at the store, like I caught this fish. This was my fish, and now it's part of me. Honoring that, you know what I mean? Yeah, they're just an amazing fish. When you get to hold one for a moment and look at it, they're just a special fish that really warms the heart when you get to spend a moment with them. I want to be able to share that with other people. I want other people to experience how amazing it is, so people will want it to be there for their children and their children's children.
Started to get really good.
Yeah.
Last couple evenings.
We've had a lot of really rough years for salmon and steelhead. Sometimes we'll get an early push that makes it look like it's good, and then it just dies off. Last year I didn't even go fish for steelhead because there just wasn't enough numbers to make it viable in my eyes to go do.
I don't like fishing for endangered species. Like, to me, they just need to be left alone. That's not something that I'm trying to promote, killing the last one.
It definitely affects all the guides in the area. If the fishing is tough, or if there isn't a run, that's like their whole income that they're hoping to get for the spring to summertime, and then in the fall when we get a fall run too. Go find a job somewhere else doing something else, side jobs or whatever they need to do to be able to get by and pay their bills and make sure that their families are fed.
We've already seen a reduction of hatchery salmon being produced from over 2 million down to under 700,000. That was a lawsuit that was filed because we have about 50 years of science that tells us that stocking the river with millions of fish doesn't bring us more fish. Wild fish, when we have degraded their habitat to a degree that they're unable to produce in that fashion, that's difficult. Mother Nature is absolutely the very best hatchery on the earth. If you let her go, give the fish habitat, we don't need hatcheries. It could be removing a dam, it could be providing passage through a dam or over a dam. It's a lot more cost effective for taxpayers, and it's a lot better for our natural world. We have a lot of examples of restoration of habitat, and salmon suddenly are there and they're more productive. You know, I'd love to see that come to a point where wild fish can reproduce to the point of retention.
Catching wild fish on the McKenzie is probably one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. Everything else just kind of goes away, and it's just you and that fish are the only things that are mattering at the moment. The nice thing about being a guide or doing anything that you love, it just doesn't feel like you're working, even though you get to pay your bills with it. People do what they need to do to survive, and if you can't pay your bills doing what you love, you just get a job doing something that pays the bills.
I'm a little different guide too. Like, I don't make my living exclusively from guiding. You know, if my guiding went away tomorrow, I still would be selling fishing tackle. So at a worst case scenario in my business, that's where we go. My 20s, it was different. You know, I was working a lot harder.
If you're fortunate enough to do something that you love, you don't ever want to give it up. And it's sad when you don't get to do that. People spend their whole lives not being able to do a job that they love.